Hey employers, ready to cover more and save more? When you bundle United Healthcare Medical with our life, disability, dental, and or vision, your medical plan costs may drop. Plus, you'll be offering more of the benefits employees want. For more details, visit uhc.com/bundled. Minimum participation requirements may apply for bundling programs. Benefits and programs may not be available in all states or for all group sizes. Components subject to change. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. Health plan coverage provided by or through Optimum Choice, Inc. or United Healthcare of the Mid-Atlantic, Inc.
Fall is a season of gathering that brings us together with warmth and color. So whether it's a birthday, anniversary, or a special event, celebrate your friends and family with a gorgeous bouquet of roses from 1-800-Flowers.com. 1-800-Flowers makes it easy to brighten someone's day with 24 multicolored roses for just $39.99. To get 24 multicolored roses for just $39.99, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in.
You know what that sound means? It's another episode of Game for a Movie, where we ask, are you game for a movie? I am your host, Mike, joined by...
Andre.
Jill.
Mitchell.
Hi, friends.
Hey, bud.
We had the whole group together.
In person.
This is amazing.
I know, right?
Like,
wild.
It's been Zoom calls. It's been everything under the sun, it felt like, for a little while. We did Google Hangout.
I was on your phone for a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
true.
I lived inside your phone.
Yes.
Your search history is shocking.
Yeah, I know. I should have cleared that years ago.
It's
Well,
nice to be all together again.
It is.
Yes.
It is, and not to have you looking at my search history.
Incognito mode, my friend.
All right. That's fair. What are we drinking, though?
I am drinking the Dogfish Head Pumpkin Ale.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Oh.
Like, isn't there? It's a
Pumpkin.
little punky, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
is it Punky Brewster?
Maybe, yeah. I don't
Okay,
know.
all right.
Yeah.
And
I can
we're
see
on the spectrum of squash to pie.
This is kind of right smack
Squash
dab in
to
the middle. I feel like that's a very bad answer, but like it's pretty sweet. It's like pumpkin pie, but you know, you can tell there's some
Squash
some
to
real
pie, I
stuff.
like
That's
that.
my
Yeah,
pumpkin
yeah.
beer spectrum, although I did not create that. I was inspired by a YouTuber who
It's good.
had a spectrum a couple years ago on
How
beers.
dare you?
Oh, interesting.
It's a good range, squash to pie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
it is a good range. Yeah.
I 100%
Yeah.
it.
I knew exactly what you meant when you were saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, halfway between squash and pie.
Yeah, it's a good pumpkin beer.
You match with your T-shirt there.
It does.
Gotta rep the Browns, man.
Do you? But do you?
Do you?
You do.
Do you really?
do, man. You do. You absolutely
See,
do.
I'm not repping the Bears today because I've learned that I can't rep the Bears and then they win. So I've got just a Navy shirt on.
See,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still...
Rep and walk the moon.
I am repping Walk the Moon.
I'm
I will
still
say that.
in the mode of I've rooted for the Browns long enough that every time they win, even though they're better than most years, every time they win, it's still a shock to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's so...
Bears are playing the
Don't worry about
I'm
Packers.
it.
happy
Like,
that
what?
surprise never wears off for you.
It hasn't yet, and it still feels good, so... Dog check.
Right? Talk check.
What the fuck is that?
Cleveland.
This is for you.
All right, Joe, what do you got over there?
I am drinking Down East's pumpkin cider, which falls
Squash to pie?
on the scale of squash to pie. This is definitely more on the pie side.
I figured that might
I
be,
would
yeah, it's
say
cider.
0 is squash, 5 is pie. This is probably a 4.
Okay.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
Very solid.
Yeah.
But it's delicious. I love Down East. It's a local blend from Boston.
Nice.
2 big thumbs up.
Nice. Okay. I like it. You're not matching, but
No.
but
I don't
it's
actually
nice.
own anything orange.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough color.
Yeah, I don't
feel
know. I don't
like.
know
Yeah,
any
don't
orange.
We-
do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
If we ever got
I
the
love my
store up and
brownies,
running,
but-
we might have some orange shirts.
Your mom can knit me an orange sweater or something.
Yeah, okay,
Oh.
there we go.
Oh, nice. Mitchell, what do you got there?
Yeah, so I went to the Packy, as they call it up here. in
Packy.
the
Oh,
Northeast,
yes.
And
Packy.
I did want to get a pumpkin-style brew, but I pivoted because I saw this lovely puffer fish that's on this can here. It's Fugu by Tox Brewing Company, and it seemed to be super popular. This is the last 4-pack available, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grab it. It's an IPA, and I'm just going to say it's pretty good.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's an IPA.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So, and I love the art, and
Yes.
sometimes
It is beautiful.
that's why you have to buy the beer.
Well, when Tox was first coming up, their logo is what got me because it's a little tree frog there,
Yes.
and that little
Oh,
tree
let me
frog is beautiful. Like it's greenish blue.
Mm-hmm.
It is a nice looking logo.
Oh,
I would say.
he's got a little diver's helmet on. Oh, it's so special.
And I believe they're based in New London, as we looked
Yes.
up not too
It
recently.
says
So,
North Haven on the
yes.
can. Brewed and packaged by 12% North Haven.
Oh, so it's
Or
back to
they
12%.
Gotcha.
Because 12% probably distributes for
Yes.
Ah, I see.
them. There it is. Okay, all right.
Jill the librarian with the
Yeah,
research.
look at that. I
Love
see
it.
you.
What do you got, Mike?
I've got Jack's Abbey Smoke and Dagger. Jack's Abbey, I believe, is from Massachusetts. I know it's in the area. I just can't remember. Yeah,
Wow.
Massachusetts. This is a smoky beer, and I found it when I was on the knack for smoky beers, and it's pretty damn good.
What gives it the smoky flavor?
Love.
What is love?
It doesn't literally have the ingredients on here, so I may be drinking something I'm allergic to. Who knows?
Okay.
Smoke is just me having an attack.
Excellent.
Great.
Love it.
I really don't know actually, but
I could look it up.
yeah, it's probably like roasted hops or something delicious. You know.
I think a good smoky beer is hard to come by.
Yes.
But once you do find it,
Right. Well, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. I do like these, and I remember first getting them when we were playing D&D because it would just felt fitting.
Yes.
yes.
And you know, when I think of this beer, I do think of the fall, and I think of spooky things like our movies we have today.
Oh!
Segue!
Segue on us? Oh my god! I wasn't
Segway.
prepared.
Yes, I did a motorized scooter on you.
Wow.
Love it.
Segway.
I love it.
Don't fall off a cliff on them.
Please
though.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a weird fact. The creator of the Segway died by flying off a cliff.
Not the creator.
Not the creator?
So
Oh, I
the
thought he
guy
was the
who
creator.
bought
The licensor or whatever, right?
So
Oh my
the
God.
guy who acquired the company
No.
died.
Oh, I
There
thought it was
a-
the creator.
There was
Okay.
a really good news article
Okay.
about the Segway launch, and it was written from the journalist who broke the story.
Okay.
And it explains how everything just went wrong, and then two, how the actual creator of the Segway just loved this idea so much that he kind of wanted to keep it as much Cloak and Dagger secret as he could.
Oh, okay.
So when it was launched, it was the big idea. It's IT.
Yeah.
I remember
I,
it.
capital T,
Yeah.
And then everybody thought it was going to be one thing, but because the creator kept it all under wraps, it kind of fed the idea. And then when it was released,
It's
it
like,
was
oh,
not anything. It was cool, but not
it's a fun
Well,
story.
now every city everywhere has Segway tours and everything.
basically. But at the time, it was. I think the marketing really screwed the potential.
It was
and
oversight.
What is
it was
it?
just so expensive too. No one could afford one.
Yeah.
That's a big part
Right.
of it.
Yeah,
If
it
I
is
find
definitely
the
not a
article-
personal thing.
I think it was an article. If I find it, I'll share it with you guys. It was a good read.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, for sure.
Random Segway fact, and I don't think it's the first time this has been mentioned on this podcast. So
Segway facts?
take a drink for the Segway fact.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy that radio silence right there while we all drank.
Exactly.
So spooky movies is what we are going to start with. We'll see where this goes because we're kind of free flowing it, and I love this feeling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah?
we're kind of free flowing it.
We're off the reins. Mike Unchained.
Sure.
I don't know.
I usually come in. I'm like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So yeah, I guess I'm a little unchained,
Little loosey goosey.
little loosey goosey.
I like it.
Exactly.
Even without a script.
Yeah. So it is October currently. I am currently watching a ton of scary movies, ones I have not seen. So I saw Hellfest or whatever that movie was that came out.
What is
Not
Hellfest?
familiar with that one.
Yeah,
Hellfest.
you
It's
gotta-
2018, I think.
Okay.
I was not prepared to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm here for it.
Okay.
Basically, Hellfest. Yeah, it was 2018. A mass serial killer turns a horror-themed amusement park into his own personal
Missed
playground,
this completely.
terrorizing a group of friends while the rest of the patrons believe that it is all part of the show.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is the IMDb description. And it was good. It was fairly good. It's, the kills. So here's my scale.
Uh-huh.
Creativity of the movie, creativity of the kills, and then, finally storyline, plot, that kind of stuff.
So is this kind of like a gore fest kind of movie, or more like
It's
an
schlocky
elaborate
horror.
Saw?
No, it's a serial killer killing people. It's not over the top physical deformity, blood,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
So it's not Saw. It's more like.
So is it
Scream?
schlocky?
Yeah, it's
or
more
is
like
it
Scream.
the Hills
Okay,
of
it's more-
Eyes.
It's more like Scream. It is, and that's what they're definitely trying for. And it's funny that one of the people that was in this, I need to look up her name, went on to be in the Scream TV show. Bex Taylor Klaus.
Oh, okay.
So she was in the Scream TV show as well.
So she is a scream queen.
I would say
But
so.
not the show.
Yes,
But not the show.
Not the
Exactly.
show. Yes, but like maybe you recognize her. No, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
I will say this is not my genre unless it gets like a super high rating on IMDb. Then that's when I'm watching that horror movie.
Yeah, that's
Like,
probably the one that I would say is the. Nope, I take it back. I watched the Banana Splits movie. That was fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, have you not heard of the Banana Splits movie?
The
No.
Banana Splits movie. You
Oh,
remember the
man.
Banana Splits? Like the characters, la 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 la
Like-
la la.
Yeah, they're like in big
La,
mascot
la, la, la.
costumes. This is like in the 90s.
Wait a minute.
80s?
You
This
mean-
was like in the
do you mean
60s, 70s,
bananas
dude.
Or is
in
it that old?
pajamas?
No,
No.
Banana Splits.
Yeah,
Banana
not-
Split's a
Pajamas.
little different. Yeah. So I would say it's closer to like how Chuck E. Cheese used to put out their characters on a stage to perform.
What?
And that's what they look like.
No, I'm familiar with the California Raisins.
Yeah,
not the Banana Split.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So the Banana Splits got a movie in 2019 for no reason. Like it
Well,
came out
okay.
of nowhere.
The reason
Probably
wanted
wanted to
is-
hold on to the contract, so they had to.
Maybe.
Well, that and
Kinda
the
big movie.
reason is Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's be real.
Yeah, well,
You know, like
so that one
Lots
is
of-
like
exactly.
a lot of interest in mascot themed horror. You know,
right.
so
Exactly. But like this one is literally they're robots. They are malfunctioning and they start killing adults off.
okay.
That sounds like FNAF.
That's FNAF. Yeah.
Yeah. And they kill the adults but protect the kids. But it gets super dark, super fun though, because like it is they're goofy, they're zany, that kind of stuff. So like literally a guy gets killed with a one of them's a magician. So he like does a part where he puts him in the box with the saw and everything like that. And he has the girl help him like saw him apart.
Oh my
and
God.
like it is gory, bloody fun.
Wow.
Well,
okay.
that's what you wanted in a
Yeah.
movie.
That
Yeah,
is exactly what I
horror
wanted in the Banana Splits movie. It's not a great movie. Like, I'm not saying go see it right away,
Sure.
but it's just fun like that.
film. The way that killer sofa is fun.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Oh,
You
that's
said
really
you
cool.
saw a fun, spooky movie.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if spooky would be appropriate.
Right.
My
I
age
can't say that I
level.
was too afraid, much to Will Arnett's disappointment. But
I'm talking about the new Disney Plus special, The Muppets Haunted Mansion.
yeah.
This makes me so excited.
And you know what? Going into it, I had very little knowledge. I had seen like a trailer for it. I knew the Great Gonzo was going to be the main character. His sidekick was going to be Pepe the King Prawn, and that was it. And you know what?
I love Pepe.
I'm not gonna lie. This was like a 4 out of 5 experience for me.
Wow.
This was so refreshing.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
What do you mean by refreshing?
So, since Disney acquired the Muppets, they have really struggled to figure out what to do with them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They've had some success. So, Jason Segel's film in the early 2010s.
I love
The
that
Muppets.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That movie
Oh, yeah.
understood what the Muppets are, what they need to be,
That
how
was
they work.
Claus and I went to that movie opening day. I know you two know Claus.
Yeah.
Claus and I went to that movie opening day, and we were the two creepy, like, 24,
Oh, sure.
25-year-olds
Yeah.
sitting in a movie theater watching the Muppets.
But then after that, they just kind of fell apart again. There's the Muppets Most Wanted film, which is kind of the direct sequel to the Muppets. I do not like Muppets Most Wanted at all. I
don't
they
either.
don't understand the characters.
Yep.
And then you've had the
But it did give
Muppets-
us Evil Kermit meme.
I guess
It
it did.
did.
Oh,
Sure
it did
did.
actually. Oh my God,
I
that's where
hate
it's
that
from.
Muppet. You Russian Kermit. Screw him. Then we had the documentary style TV show that was all The Office, which didn't get it, and then we have now the Muppets like web series.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, I didn't know they even had a web
that's on
series.
Disney
The
Plus.
framing device is that they're uploading segments for a YouTube or
Interesting.
a vlog series.
So, like, I feel like I'm not as big a Muppets fan as you are. I'm surprised how many of those I have seen. I've seen the 3 out of 4 on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are like the most recent Muppet properties, and I think the reason that the Muppets Haunted Mansion really works is that they give the proper setup for how the Muppets are going to be interacting with the larger world around them.
Okay.
So the general plot is that it's Halloween night. The Great Gonzo, who always does stunts and things, he's going over to a haunted mansion to prove that he's the most bravest, courageous, daredevil individual that there is. by spending one whole night in the mansion. It belonged to the great MacGuffin, this magician.
His name is MacGuffin.
It is MacGuffin.
Literally, he is a
The
MacGuffin.
great MacGuffin.
Yep.
That is amazing.
So
At least he's not the plot Muppet.
So, along for the ride is Pepe the King Prawn. He's coming along because he thinks there's going to be some awesome Halloween parties. He's there for the show. For the
Of course
party.
he
Wants to
is.
meet
He just
famous
wants to
people.
Of course he
party.
is.
Yeah.
He names a few people, including Bard Pitts.
Bard Pitts.
Love
What
it.
makes the Muppets
He
great?
says
Yeah.
some great name. He says like other names appropriate. He's like, and
Yeah.
Bard Pitts.
He like names off some real celebrities and then ends with.
Is
and Bard
Jason
Pitts.
Segel one of them?
Jason Segel's not one of them.
No.
Ah.
I don't know who they
Bradley
were.
Cooper, I think he
He
names.
might have said Bradley Cooper.
All right, Bardley Cooper, got it.
Yeah.
Bard Pitts.
Bard Pitt. Oh my
It's
god.
incredible.
And they get to the mansion and shenanigans ensue.
Shenanigans
As ones
ensue
do.
by one creepy butler who's
Yes.
portrayed by Will Arnett, who I did not know
So
was in this movie.
it's a Muppet film.
Yeah.
There's going to be celebrity
Yeah.
cameos here and there. And
Right.
some are
And-
bigger than others, but Will Arnett pops up and I'm like, oh, I didn't know he was in this.
And he is definitely having a time of it.
He
And-
is. He gets to say the "Welcome, Foolish Mortals" line, but I think he changed it to like "Welcome, Foolish Muppets."
Yes.
Okay.
He's enjoying this, and I'll say right now that the film follows the layout of the ride, where like they
Yeah.
have the stretching room.
Oh,
you see
okay.
they hit the grinning ghosts and the graveyard. You get into the
So
the
I've got a
ballroom, so
fun
it's-
fact about the ride.
Oh no!
I've never
Don't-
ridden it.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
good.
Never. It's always been either under construction or
Uh-huh.
way too long a line,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem worth
It's
it.
kind of one of those you go right at the beginning of the day or at the end, because
Yep.
once you're
Well,
in
like
line
we,
at Disney,
True
they
enough.
can't throw you off. the
Right.
line.
Well, the thing is always I wanted to see it at night, and it was always like broken down or
Too long.
I
Too
will
long
say,
line.
once you're inside, it doesn't matter if the sun's out outside.
Yeah,
you're
it's-
completely in that.
Yeah,
ride.
you're-
It's not
Okay.
like you're going to
All
see
right,
daylight
all
in
right.
there.
No.
Yeah.
So the film follows the movement of the ride, but it's not committed to the whole arc, the story
Okay.
of the ride. And for those who might not know, there are 4 haunted mansions: Disney World, Florida; Disneyland, California; Euro Disney or Disneyland Paris, and then Shanghai.
Shanghai,
Or
yeah.
Tokyo.
Okay.
No, yeah, Tokyo has it. I don't think Shanghai has one. Maybe there are 5.
interesting.
But there's different houses, and they all actually have different stories.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
So the story and characters, because it's Constance Holloway or something or other, the
The-
bride.
Okay.
In the ball, right? Or is that a different
she's
person?
like if you've been to the one in Disney World, Florida, it's the ghost bride is Constance. So the house.
Okay, I have an answer for you if you want the rides.
Are there
Yeah.
5 of them?
So
or
there
4?
is Walt Disney World,
Yep.
Disneyland,
Okay.
Disney Paris,
Yep.
and then there's 2 more:
Tokyo and
Okay.
Shanghai.
Tokyo and Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Which is the small one.
Yes.
So 5.
Yes, 5
Um,
total.
5, and they're all different houses. So Constance is the plot ghost who appears in at least the one in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
I was about to say, it's like, I
So
feel like
it's-
I've seen that one, and I've only been on the one.
Yep. And it has nothing to do
yeah.
with the Eddie Murphy movie.
I was
Right.
gonna
Andre
ask.
No,
asked
I
me-
asked. I was like,
I-
is this like is not Eddie Murphy going to show up? But it's supposed to
It's
be like
this,
an
and like
edit
the
that-
one with Eddie Murphy has nothing to do with.
I would have asked which one's better.
Oh,
It
it's
sounds
way
like this
better.
one.
This
is
is
a lot
better?
better.
Okay, yeah.
So we have Will Arnett, Taraji.
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she,
man.
she plays the bride.
Yeah.
Nice.
Constance. Darren Criss pops up.
Okay.
And then those are the big names. Then the rest you got some Muppet actors who are pretty reoccurring. So they get to the mansion and we meet Darren Criss as the Undertaker and he bursts into song and I just turned to Andre and I'm like, it's a musical.
There weren't that many songs
No, there
though.
weren't,
There was like maybe
but-
4,
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Still
It's
counts
fine.
as a musical.
It's fine. I'm like-
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm very happy because, you know, Muppets and music are interconnected. That's how
Right.
they've always been.
Absolutely.
And what's really fantastic is that Gonzo is just kind of sitting back. He's like, oh, it's like show. This is so fantastic because he's genuinely not afraid of what's going to happen.
Right.
He thinks he's in for the ride. Pepe, on the other hand, is freaking out already.
Yeah.
And this is why it works so well, is that if you've seen the 1970s Muppet Show, the plot environment for that is that they own this theater, they're putting on a show every night, you're seeing the different sketches.
Right.
The way that the Muppets Haunted Mansion works is roughly the same. Each room or each section of the mansion is another sketch. And they set it up really early that things are going to look eerily familiar to Gonzo because the house is going to work with what they know and their fears.
Gotcha.
So Miss Piggy appears in the beginning in like a video call that Gonzo's having with Kermit because they're having a Halloween party.
Okay.
But then later in the mansion, she plays Madame Pagoda.
You should have let that go.
I gotta put that underneath, you know?
Yeah, right.
Why did you hide the...
Because Jill was in the middle. She was
Alright,
ripping.
fine.
It was amazing. And
Fine, all right. Jeez.
So you have like Madame Pagoda instead of Madame Leota.
Okay.
You
Yep.
get the Hitchhiking Ghosts, which first appear as different Muppets, and then you actually at the end they show like the proper ones.
Okay.
So like they actually explain why familiar Muppet characters are appearing in
Right.
the
In
mansion.
different, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not
it's
really
just-
dead, just appearing.
Yeah, they just appear because the house knows.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun 52 minutes. Like I said,
that
got-
is amazing.
Yeah,
52
fun
minutes.
Yeah.
The
That's
songs are
breath of
are
fresh air,
catchy.
Wait,
What
so there's only 4 or 5 songs in a 52-minute film?
Yeah, I know.
It's
but
100% a musical.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't, but it's more like the songs are spaced out pretty wide.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like I've definitely watched a lot of like musicals that the songs are way tighter packed together.
Yeah,
you know?
okay. All right.
It's probably maybe 10% of the runtime is song, maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
and all the actors, the celebrity actors, look like they're having the time of their life.
Of course.
Whoever wrote this really understands how the Muppets work. And
Who
it's just,
doesn't want to do a Muppets movie?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
people.
wonder.
I think our generation and older.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to say, it's like probably a lot of
Yeah.
younger, how about, this is like, Tom Holland's going to take some straight pot shots here, but he's the first person I could think of where I don't think he would jive with it. I have no reason to
Okay.
think that other than his age, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's
That's
like,
fair.
So Darren Criss being in this makes a lot of sense, and he's, our generation, I would
Yes.
say, roughly.
How
He's
old
a
is Darren Criss?
he was a dad.
He was
which is
born in
really cool.
87.
87.
yeah.
Oh, so
he's
A
like,
little north of us. But
Wait,
yeah.
what
But
the
like-
hell? Was he a 27-year-old high schooler?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, he's
Yeah.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan
before Dear
Hansen? Yeah,
Hansen.
exactly.
Oh my
Right.
god. Yep, there it is.
But I will say that watching it, if I had a, let's say, 7 to 10-year-old watching it, there are a few parts that I think would be not scary to them.
Eye
but
covering parts.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not freaky. So there's a scene where Gonzo has to confront his like greatest fear, and they do some really cool effects with like aging him up. But it's
You know what? I was gonna make a joke and I took it away.
It's very very freaky.
I was gonna say his search history.
This is not Avenue Q. The internet is not
Internet
for
for
porn
porn.
in this case.
Yeah.
So that's a little freaky.
That's well
They make some other allusions to like some ghost characters, how they may or may not have died.
Yeah.
So there's
Right.
just some things in there that for a slightly younger audience it might be spooky,
Right.
but not terrifying.
Okay.
Definitely for all ages though, and I just Disney
Nice.
Plus, Disney, whoever, just keep making things like this.
Yeah.
If you need to just put a Muppet skin on every single ride to get a good story out of it,
man.
do it.
Yeah.
Just,
So I'm gonna give a shout out to a podcast that I love called Watching Comics Podcast. They did a segment on one of their shows. If any comic book movie could get the Muppets treatment, where it's like one human character
and then
and everybody else is Muppets, what
Yeah.
would you choose?
oh, it's a good
Guardians
question.
immediately came to mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guardians
Okay.
would be great. Yeah.
I said Green Lantern.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think it would be
That'd
more
good.
fun.
I think that's a better glow up too.
Yes.
I think it would just be better as a movie.
100%.
Kermit
Shazam
as the
would be
Green
good.
Lantern.
Okay. Who's
Not, I'm
who's
getting rid of. I'm
who's-
getting rid of Ryan
so who's
Reynolds.
staying
Ryan
human?
Reynolds
Who's
would be
staying human?
good.
I
Blake
want
Lively.
Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Blake Lively's a good choice. No,
He
who
got
was
the piggy in that role though?
who was
And,
the bad guy in that?
What about Sinestro?
Oh, Sinestro.
Was it Hector Hammond or was it Sinestro in that movie?
Well, Sinestro was in that movie. I think they teased him going back.
It was gonna
to the
be like
movie,
Green
right?
Lantern 2 or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's Hector Hammond who's
Yeah.
the bad
Okay.
guy in that movie.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
And he has like a ginormous head, so I don't know how
Yeah.
to pull that off.
Right.
But,
Maybe
yeah.
he becomes a Muppet when he turns into the ginormous head. Like that could be.
there you go.
Yeah.
He turns into Sam the Eagle in his gigantic forehead.
Yeah.
And, the humor was all right too.
Yeah.
When I say all right, I mean like literally this is correct. This is the right type of humor for the
Gotcha.
Muppets. So like they make a couple jokes early on, and then they explain a joke, and then later they're like, "Don't worry, we're not going to explain everything to you." But it's just so in spirit of the
Yeah.
Muppets.
It felt.
Yeah.
It
It's
felt
just like,
authentic.
finally, what a breath of fresh air.
Nice.
So I highly recommend this. Like I said, it's a nice 52 minutes long. It does not outstay its welcome.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I can ignore the fact and forgive that I don't like the way that Kermit sounds anymore.
I mean, that's
It is
kind
what
of an
it
impossible
is.
situation.
I don't know how you're gonna get through that one.
Yeah.
Steve Whitmore was dismissed, so he's not coming back. I also found out what happened to Rizzo the Rat, which was also kind of sad. Because if you grew up in the 90s, Gonzo and Rizzo were the team up.
Right.
Gonzo,
So wait, what happened to the rat?
The voice actor and Muppeteer for Rizzo was also dismissed from the company following controversy. That's all I read, and then I'm like, I don't want this
fair.
Fantastic. Yep.
So it sounds like this is going to join the likes of a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yes, and that's
right?
I think another reason why it works. It's very similar to the Christmas Carol, Treasure Island, things like that.
I still need to watch Treasure Island, but I still like Christmas Carol more than this, probably.
You get Michael Caine in it?
Yeah, Michael
Caine.
Caine. Only because Michael Caine is so flipping good in that movie.
Yes, he is.
It straight.
Fuck,
He's
man.
not, as he's the one said, I'm not going to do anything Muppety.
Is that the best Michael Caine role?
It might.
I'm willing to put
it's
it
in the
on the
top
table.
5 in my opinion.
That's
Honestly,
my favorite telling of the Christmas Carol is the Muppets one.
That's
because
fair.
It's also very faithful.
I'll say this: it's definitely my favorite Scrooge to film interpretation for sure.
Yeah. I really like the Disney one, mainly because of how Goofy plays Marley at the beginning. Like, in terms of making me laugh.
The one that
yeah.
Scrooge.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the real life animated one with
not
Jim
the Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
I thought that's what you were talking about, and that was creepy.
Visually gorgeous, if not a little uncanny.
It's creepy to me.
For me,
That one,
it's
yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
For me,
Do you
yeah.
see problem with Polar Express then?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the same thing,
It's the
right?
same thing.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same guy.
It's a Robert
Robert
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I can't do Polar Express either.
I can't do that. Can't do Beowulf. Like, I forgot how many movies he
Beowulf.
did in that style.
You were there
but
when I found out that Beowulf was animated.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I didn't watch it in school.
okay, yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're cartoons or they're real people.
It's not good.
No, it's not. Beowulf is the first. That movie is the first origin of the hot titty Shelob effect. You know what I mean? Like, take this.
Grendel, right?
Grendel's mother. They made the Turner
Well,
Angelina Jolie,
yeah,
right? It's like what?
Unapologetically, it's Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, like it's just okay. It's just Angelina Jolie in a skin suit. Like, cool.
Well, all right. I hate to change the subject, but I want to hear from more people on this show as well.
Ratings is 4 out of 5 red herrings for me.
Yeah.
Andre?
Oh, me?
You watched it too.
Yeah, it's true. 3.5 illusions out of 5. In deference to Joe, who, from Will Arnett, Joe, they're not tricks, they're whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
Will Arnett plays the. Never mind. Okay, it's fine. It's cool. You guys should watch the movie. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later. Because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're your local Dignity Memorial provider. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Black political power is changing the direction of this country because we're a voice of change and our votes have real power. We have the chance to make a difference again here in Virginia. We must elect leaders who will fight for better jobs, better schools, affordable health care, who will care about keeping us safe from crime and systemic racism, and support our families' needs to recover from the pandemic. Let's take action together. Vote early until October 30th or vote on Election Day, November 2nd.
Paid for by the NAACP.
Going back to our uncanny CGI conversation, because I'm sure the CGI was great on the movie you're going to talk about, Mitchell.
Okay, some backstory here. I'm talking about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It sucks. But,
it sucks.
It sucks.
oh, God, it's awful. But
People liked it.
no, okay, so I'll say this. I'm a snob, but I do understand that yeah, me. So there are movies you have to meet them at their level, which is exactly how I approached the first Venom, and I really loved it. I loved how Tom Hardy was like so dedicated to the Eddie Brock role, and his voice performance for Venom was
still
so much
one of my
fun.
favorite superhero roles because of the fact we never got the glow up cute moment, like hot moment.
Oh, none of
He
that.
looked like trash. The entirety of the movie.
That's the thing, is that at the beginning of the movie, he's down in his dumps, and at the end of the movie, he's still pretty
He's
down
still
in his
pretty
dumps.
bad. Yeah, he's still got like a sweat-stained sweatshirt on,
I
Yeah.
will say that shitty apartment in San Francisco still costs like $500,000.
I'm sure.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
But And by the way, the lobster scene in the first movie, I think, is still like the gold standard of what you could do with Tom Hardy as Venom. Anyway, so going into this movie, and we were just watching MIB2 upstairs.
Yes, Men in Black 2.
Looking at the CGI at that movie, I say it's just about as good as what I saw.
Wow.
No. It's not good.
That's not good for a movie with a lot of CGI in it.
Also,
where
Men in Black 2 is what, from 2004?
Yeah. When was that? Like 2004.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
I'm on it.
And look, I'm being an asshole. Like, of course, it's a little bit better. Me? So, of course, it's a little bit better. But there are some things I really liked about this movie. So, I want to get those out the way first.
2002.
2002. Wow. So, 19 years later, not much progress.
Jesus.
By the way, Sony, it's still Sony.
It's still Sony.
Yeah. So, I will say this. 90 minutes. That is so refreshing. You want to talk about just like a runtime, especially for a comic.
Actually, 97 minutes.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
It felt... that
7 of those minutes are trailer, or is that
Credits,
I would say that's true because there is a mid-credit scene that you have to watch. But
yes. I spoiled myself on it.
And
I don't want to watch this movie. I'm going to just watch the credits.
Of all the things...
The internet told me.
That was what was spoiled for me.
Okay.
And which is fine. Which is fine, but at the end of the day, I wish I wasn't.
Yeah, right.
But the runtime was great. Tom Hardy doing his thing. Really surprised Michelle Williams also understood the assignment. Because she is also...
Michelle Williams killed it in the first one. I'm not shocked that she killed it in the second one.
And she was given a little bit more to
guess?
No, she did. You're right. No,
absolutely. She did, but she was given a little bit more and a little bit more campy things to do too.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Right.
Like, she was just like, I'm in.
The first movie had exactly like one moment with her letting her be kind of campy in it, I feel like. And
She Venom?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Andy Serkis directing?
I don't know.
This is Andy Serkis directing this film.
Okay.
And that is the thing too. I think the overall direction, a lot of the choices made from a filmmaker's point of view, even if you're meeting it at the campy level, does not work. For example, this movie opens with Woody Harrelson's character. He plays Carnage. Back when he's a little bit younger, he's locked up, and you see him talking. When you see this young actor who is not Woody Harrelson
they didn't
speak,
de-age him.
They didn't even de-age him. What they did was they got a younger actor and they dubbed Woody Harrelson's voice in for this dude's lines.
Oh, no.
And we're talking like 2 to 3 lines, but still, it's enough to
take you right out of it.
Completely take you out of the movie just as it's starting. What do you got?
So I was just looking up Andy Serkis' directing credits. He has 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the Jungle Book movie or
the Mowgli Legend of whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Second unit on one of the Hobbits.
So
was it cool?
On a few of them, actually.
So he was the director for Venom: Let There Be Carnage, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, The Ruins of Empires, which is a TV movie, Breathe, and Heavenly Sword, which is a video game.
What?
He directed
Hold on.
Yes.
What? Was he a cinematic director on that?
I don't know. Maybe it just says director on IMDb. You can do your own.
Interesting.
Well, he has 2 upcoming projects. This is what I want to get to.
Yeah.
One of these projects is called Animal Farm.
Oh, as in George Orwell?
Yeah, right. The
Yes.
adaptation? Okay.
I didn't know they were doing an adaptation.
Me
This is
neither.
blowing my mind on this.
Okay. When does that do?
It doesn't say.
Okay. So
It's
still
in
early.
in development.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What's the other movies doing?
Steelskin. I don't know what it's called. Like, it doesn't have a plot or anything like that. Animal Farm is supposed to come out before Steelskin, so they're both in development.
Okay.
So
I'll say this. So I've listened to, and I tried to do some homework here. Andy Serkis did do an interview on The Big Picture where he talked about how his first foray into Venom wasn't with this movie. It was Tom Hardy reaching out to him before Venom 1 came out, asking for advice on how to play a CGI character with all that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
What it turned out were, then Tom Hardy did not follow up on that initial conversation. They just ended up filming the movie, which was fine. It was a big success. I think it made like $700 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a stupid amount of money. Yeah. And then that, I guess, first conversation, Tom Hardy, who is also gets a story credit in this movie, reached out to Andy. He's just like, hey, I know I didn't follow up last time, but we'd love you to direct the sequel. So he came back and did that.
Cool.
And I think a lot of the CGI stuff, Venom is as funny as he was in the first movie.
Okay.
Yep.
I think a lot of it is that physical performance that you see in the CGI, though it doesn't look good. like the actual puppeteering of it all.
The
is
cinematography, like, and it's not the right word,
got
but
the
the actual
things
choreography.
down.
The choreography is good. Okay.
What they wanted out of the performance was good, but it's using PS2 level graphics.
Yeah, right. It looks like a video game cutscene. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's one of my gripes there. The movie flies at a comic book level pace, which is why it's able to clock in at 97 minutes. And sometimes that's perfect.
97
minutes. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sometimes that's perfect. One of my favorite moments is Venom's about to fight Carnage. He sees that Carnage is red, and Venom chickens out. He's just like, nope, I don't want to fight him.
Yep.
Because
That's a red one.
He's a red
yeah,
one.
it's in the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is perfect, because when I saw that in the trailer, I thought we were going to get some backstory as to why the red one is more powerful than him, blah, blah, blah. We did not. We just go right into the fight.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, that's all I need
So
as an
Venom's
audience.
racist. Got it.
Venom is partially racist. All you need to know, like,
Wow.
Oh,
I'm just
you got
thinking
it.
of all of the fucking socioeconomic ramifications of Venom's homeworld now.
the fucked up part is Venom is Carnage's dad.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
because it's
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how they play that role in the movie. That Venom, technically, the symbiote, is Carnage's dad.
Yes.
Wow.
And Carnage calls Venom that. He calls him that, like, verbally. You hear that sentence somewhere in this movie.
Wow.
So there are some weird choices like that. I could have lived without it.
All right, fair enough.
But overall, you don't get the same laughs, or to my level at least, from the first one.
The first one I laughed so much too.
It was great in a very charming way, and it does not succeed at that level with this movie. But was it a lot of fun? Clearly. I'm explaining this movie to you with a big-ass smile on my face.
Yes.
So I had a lot of fun watching it. But at the end of the day, I understand that this is a solid 1.5-star movie.
Wow.
I'm not going to watch this again.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Okay, all right. No.
But understanding that I grade very hard,
If
what
there's
half isn't bad.
when there's a trilogy, because
Yeah.
let's face it.
Oh, there
There
will
will
be.
be, yeah.
Will you go see the third one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
of Tom Hardy. Because at the end of the day, in terms of commitment from number 1 to number 2, Tom Hardy is all in as Eddie Brock, and he's even more all in as Venom.
Yep.
And that is so much fun, and especially with what you see in the mid-credit scene, I'm definitely seeing number 3.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm definitely seeing number
Nice.
3, and I don't want to spoil it here.
No, I was guessing there was going to be a third one because let's face it.
Dude, it makes too much money.
Exactly. The
That's
first
the
one
thing, at
made
the
too
end
much
of the
money
day-
that they knew in the
What was
second
it?
one.
That was such a classic. Like, I remember one of the funniest memes of the year I saw was like when Sony was pushing out Venom extra, a handful of extra weeks at a time because the Delta variant, et cetera, and then Shang-Chi came out and it shattered expectations.
And then
And then the J. Jonah Jameson thing, like wait, we're pushing you out, like
Yeah.
like from like it was like you're fired, and like wait,
You're
no.
off the front page.
Yeah, you're off the
back.
front page. Hey, you, say, I need you. Yeah,
Yeah, right,
pull it back
exactly.
in, exactly. Yeah,
Do we
yeah.
know who's in the motion? So, like, I did a quick look up to see if I could figure out who, like, the mocap actor was for Venom, and it turns out they didn't do any motion capture.
Oh,
What?
For number 2, they did not?
Really?
No.
Can you check to see if they did on number 1? Because I'd be very interested to
I
see
don't think.
that.
Well, number 1, no. I have this article's from 3 years ago. Venom didn't use motion capture after all, according to Tom Hardy. So in Venom 1, they did not use.
So that's
mocap.
why he never hit Andy Serkis back up. So I wonder if they did for number 2, though.
I'm gonna look up.
So, because I really thought of the high moments, it was Venom existing in the world, and he does for quite a while in this movie. But at the end of the day, some character choices don't make sense. Basically, motivations are completely lost or just discarded in general. And then, you move in the direction that the script told you to go in without any real motivation. So, it's not a good movie. But
fair.
I had a lot of fun watching it. So...
Okay.
It's one of those things where if you were on a bad movie podcast, it'd be fun to talk about.
Sure, yeah.
If you were not,
Wait a second.
if you were not and had to pay $14 to see this thing, I'd probably recommend another movie.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
Yep. Yep.
From what I can find, it does not
What do we
look.
got?
There's some mocap, but it's mostly just CGI.
interesting.
And to allow Tom Hardy more freedom to
Do his
do
thing.
his thing.
I
He
wonder
is
if
so
that's
good.
why the CGI isn't up to par for a lot of this.
If I fell asleep.
Calm yourself. I wonder if that's why the CGI isn't up to par for a lot of this is just because there is no mocap. You're not like, you don't have this standard spot that we're going to build off of. It's just him being him and them making it after on him.
You know, for me, it wasn't even about the motion. It was more about the look at the end of the day. And I'm not sure what goes into what makes something look fantastic using CGI.
Sure. Right.
I know there's probably a good combination of money and manpower.
Right.
And I'm not sure if the movie was afforded that, especially with COVID and all that.
Yeah.
Production's completely changed.
Right.
So that may have been something that affected it, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I wonder.
So if you're invested in Venom, definitely see it. Definitely do it. It's going to be the same stuff that you saw last time.
If you like the first one, would you like this one, basically?
Yeah,
or...
you'll like it less. But,
got
but
it.
this is something that you'll probably want to watch because, again, if you're in on Venom, you're in on Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm so invested in this.
Tom Hardy's definitely invested in it, but I did not like the first one, and even in like a fun way. So call me a snob, I guess. But like,
no,
I was
then this one, my man, is not for you.
I haven't actually seen the first one yet, or the second one clearly. But
imagine this.
I want your opinion of seeing the second one and then going back to the
first one. That is actually a classic Joe move. Like, let's watch. Should we watch Speed 2 without seeing Speed 1? Let's watch Venom 2 without the first one.
Speed 2 was because it was forced on her.
Yes, I know. It's true, but.
Cruise Control.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. That's a bad movie.
Whoa,
that is a
we
bad
have a whole
movie.
episode on it. It's terrible.
Yes.
So you saw a movie.
I did.
It's a spooky movie.
I did. You probably have already heard the episode on it because we have a full episode on it beforehand.
So you watched it, though.
Oh, wait.
What are you talking about?
What are we talking? Are we talking about Slender Man?
I'm talking about Slender Man.
Oh, we're talking about Slender Man. Oh, okay, yeah, I did watch Slender Man.
I just wanted to get all the spooky movies off the deck.
What are you talking about?
I thought, well, since we now record these two at a time, I thought we were talking about the bad movie that I watched that you heard the episode for last week.
Right.
Yes.
Because it is a spooky movie for the bad movie.
Got it.
This is weird because we're recording this backwards.
I was about to say,
so
like,
you guys don't even know the movie yet.
You've listened to it. Yeah. We haven't said it yet.
Right.
Whoa.
I like this look behind the curtain.
This is it's a look behind the curtain. Okay, so originally it wasn't downloading because I just came back yesterday. Well, really this morning from our honeymoon.
Nice.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yes, 2 years overdue, but it's finally happened. I got a movie to download before I found the movie that I chose, and I'm still not letting you guys know until we record the episode backwards.
That's fine.
Yes. So I got the one I got to load was Slender Man. And I watched Slender Man because I thought I was going to talk about it on the podcast. It is not as bad as the hype says. It is not a good movie. I'm not telling any of you to see it. Any of anybody to see it.
Gesticulates widely
Mike was
throughout
pointing
the
at the microphone.
Yes, exactly.
Don't give this creepypasta character your money.
Yes, exactly.
Is that the origins of that thing?
Yeah, it's creepypasta.
It's a creepypasta, yeah.
Jeez.
I loved the Slender Man creepypasta. So when I heard they were making a movie, I was intrigued by it.
The game was awesome.
8 pages or the other one?
No, was it called 8 pages?
Right. So there's 2 games.
Yeah, okay. Shit. Okay.
8 pages was my favorite. But
8 pages was the one. Yeah, okay. So
that's the one you're in the woods trying to find the pages.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
that
that's
one
the winner.
Fucking rips. And also I made one of my friends play it in my college dorm, and she got so scared she threw the mouse at the monitor and broke my monitor.
It thinks I'm looking for
like
a Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was a very low, but like it's probably a 20-minute long experience tops. But
it
totally uses the mechanics of Slender Man to its most effective point, because if you look at Slender Man, you don't see him moving on screen, you only just see him pop up, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you get the sense that he's constantly following you, and it's just so it's so good.
So there's at least 6 games
wow okay
of Slender Man. Slender Man the 8 pages was excellent.
Yes.
The other one I was thinking of
the
other one I was thinking of is Slender Man Shadow, which is also good.
Okay.
But the 8 pages is definitely the they have one called 5 Nights at Slender Man.
Yeah, that's wow.
So I found this list that is the 3 worst, 3 best. There might be more.
Well, it's probably because nobody has the license to Slender Man because it's a creepypasta. Right. So like that's probably just on like the Steam page garbage bin. Like like people make games like that all the time, just having keywords of popular things.
Slender the Arrival.
Yep.
That is another good one.
Okay.
And it is based on the movie they released.
Gotcha.
But
like
it's
a tie-in or indie? Is it an indie game?
It looks indie-ish. It looks like the same mechanic as like Amnesia or something like that, where you have like a limited battery and you're finding stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Amnesia, or no, the other one.
Machine for Pigs?
No.
PT? What?
No.
What other one?
The video camera is the only time you can... Outlast. That's it. Yes, we are going full into the game part of Game for a Movie. I love it. I love it.
Horror games are great.
I just watched a playthrough of PT from 7 years ago.
Holy shit.
And it was so great.
Have you heard of the new game that's like the spiritual succession to PT?
What is that?
Fermented Souls?
No.
What's a PT?
PT. So, all right. Sorry, this is gonna be.
I don't play video
games.
games.
PT. Yeah. It stands for playable teaser, and it's a really famous little because it's so. The part that's creepy about it is that it's got. So basically, there's a playable teaser for. Have you heard of the games, the Silent Hill? I think they made movies.
So I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Because my buddy Spencer played that shit in front of me.
Okay.
And it terrified the
shit.
shit.
So it's the one where you're walking in a hallway over and over again.
Yes.
So nobody knew what PT stood
Yes. So
for,
like when it released, it was just called
mm-hmm.
hey, here's this cool indie game called PT from this random studio, and then it turned out this famous developer Hideo Kojima, made Metal Gear Solid, worked on it, and then if you beat the game, you get a teaser where Norman Reedus shows up and then walks down a creepy street and it says Silent Hills brought to you by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
And the whoa, went crazy.
Yeah, right.
It
and
is
then
nuts.
basically that game got canceled because Kojima had a falling out with the company, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, so that game never got made.
Never got made.
Whoa.
And not only that, so the company that published it, Konami, they made it so that you can no longer download PT. And if you delete it from your hard drive, you can't ever get it back.
It's just gone.
It's just gone. I still have my PS5 that has it downloaded.
You could sell
Look at
it.
you.
I could, maybe,
you could sell
yeah.
But to me, you could sell it to people who want PT.
eBay values regardless. To me, that kind of adds to the mystique of PT, where it's like this kind of creepy game you can't really get anymore.
Visage.
Not familiar.
Visage? Visage?
Visage.
Visage?
It's a 2020 game.
Okay.
They call it. Did she say vagina?
I saw a V. I saw a G.
Vagina. Got it. Vagina.
Couple A's in there. I don't know.
Sorry.
There have been many PT clones since PT happened, and I guess in the world of horror video gaming,
I remember my first beer, Mitchell.
I was so laughing.
It was incredibly impactful. I would not meaning to step on you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm not familiar with Visage.
Visage got released last year, and everybody's talking about it. It's PT essentially.
Okay.
It is what PT wanted to be.
Sure.
And so I've heard amazing things about it. It has a sanity meter, so you go through
sanity
yes. That's why I was thinking Amnesia.
Sounds fantastic. Hard pass. And PT absolutely made me crap my pants. That is the scariest game.
You're not a scary person.
I'm not a scary. Well, it's tough. I am a certain kind of scary person, I guess.
What is your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie?
Yes.
Scary Movie 3.
Scary Movie 4. No. I don't think there's even a 4.
Scary Movie 7.
Dude, there's like a billion of those.
I mean, again, this is gonna be oh, come on, but my current one that comes to mind is probably Annihilation. I would call that sort of a cosmic horror movie. It's not just a horror movie, but
that's a movie I was not expecting to be as horrific. I don't know if that's a term, but I know exactly what you're talking about, especially that end sequence.
Yes.
Very terrifying.
Yeah, well, even and then the bear scene, and I'll leave it at that, was also
the bear scene is awesome.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So good.
So well done.
Because whatever, I guess it just spoiled it itself. The reason it was so scary is because I wasn't going in thinking, oh, this is a scary movie. You know what I mean? This is a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I came in expecting, and it was really good.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have as a group, favorite scary movies that we want to share?
Oh, I know all mine.
All right, what's Yours?
Scream.
Scream number
Just
1?
all Scream number 1.
Wes Craven's Scream.
I love all 4 Scream movies. And it does not matter how bad they get. I will watch Scream movies until the day I die. I watched the Scream series, which sucked ass at the end, and I still watched it.
Well, number 1 is so... It just knows what it's doing.
It is perfect. And my favorite character of all people is Jamie Kennedy's fucking character. Randy is one of my favorite characters in a scary movie because he knows the rules, yet he still gets fucked over.
It's such a timestamp in Hollywood. Who was a star or a young star at that point.
Exactly.
And that's my thing is I love the Scream series. I love the movies, the TV show. I'm ready for Scream 5. It is coming. Cannot wait.
That is true.
Yeah.
Jill, do you have one?
Jacob's Ladder.
Nice.
Jacob's Ladder. Wow.
Which was a movie introduced to me on this podcast, and I still have yet to see.
I
know.
If you like Silent Hill pulled a lot from Jacob's Ladder.
I almost, for our bad movie, because I said I was going to do... No. The remake. They did a remake with Jesse Williams in 2013.
What?
Excuse me?
It is at an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was almost my bad movie. Because I've seen the original, and the original is fantastic.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so the sequel was almost... Or the remake, not the sequel.
I'm
the
very
remake.
curious to know how they did it.
Don't do it. Just don't. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
When did the original come out? Was it like a 90s
The
movie?
90s?
Okay.
Early mid-90s?
I was going to say like 93, 94, somewhere around there probably.
Interesting. So
Do you have one?
Well, so recently, I would say my favorite scary movie to watch, like, and I have like a habit of watching certain movies at a certain point every year, just like Christmas Vacation for Christmas is something I watch every year. Since 2015, I believe is when this movie came out. It Follows.
Well,
Nice.
it's a great film.
That is fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's like a throwback to the 80s, especially with the synths as part of the score.
Yeah, the
Yep.
soundtrack's so good.
Great.
It's so good. And, the love of my life, Kelly, hates scary movies. So this is something I cannot watch with her.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to carve out some time to watch that movie.
That's been my thing. I've said for the start of October, I've been watching scary movies. So basically, whenever Claire goes to the bed, I find a different scary movie that has been on my list. So I'm not watching like the classics. I'm not watching all these things that are like, the be all end all. I'm watching the ones that kind of slip through the cracks. So that's how I got to Hellfest.
Yeah.
Hellfest, I saw the trailer, was totally interested in it, and just kind of never saw it. Finally, I saw it was on Prime. I'm like, perfect, you know what? It's happening. Watch it, done. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm watching a lot of things that, I wouldn't call them B movies or anything like that, but just like ones that slip through the cracks for me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think most good horror movies are B
kind of B
movies.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Right.
I think depending on your flavor of horror, there should be some element of schlock.
Yes.
There should be.
To it.
Yes.
Yes.
1990 for Jiggle Splatter.
Oh,
Okay,
1990.
gotcha.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
about right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was thinking. He doesn't do horror.
I don't
I
do.
haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to
I don't know.
watch
It's
anything,
tough.
but I want to.
So
Yeah.
with scary movies, if I've watched them, if I somehow somebody's twisted my arm into watching them, usually I like them. You know what I mean? But I never find myself like when you're saying like, oh yeah, I'll just get to this scary movie that I haven't seen before. I'd be like, fuck no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what if it's fucking scary?
Yeah.
What if it's scary?
Then it's done its job.
Yeah, right. No, totally. I mean, so on that note, only because I can't escape it from cultural osmosis, I would say Alien 1 is probably my favorite horror movie.
Nice.
Straight up,
Okay,
just...
what?
Yeah,
That
that's a
is
good
a
one.
horror movie.
And it
That
is a horror movie.
Yeah, right. I would not call
100%.
Aliens or Alien 3 even a horror movie, but...
technically-
Alien 3 is definitely like a thriller
Yes.
versus a horror movie.
Right. Hey,
Yeah.
Alien 1 is probably closest to a classic horror movie that I will be
Yes.
like, I'm always down to watch this whenever, and it's been so influential in not only films, but also video games too.
Right.
Yeah, and then I guess a runner-up would be Event Horizon.
Nice.
If you guys have watched
love
that.
Yeah.
It's just-
Event
that
Horizon's
one
great.
that one is
Yeah.
the B sci-fi horror movie
Yeah.
of choice for me.
Do you know that there's like 8 minutes of cutting room floor material? Where
Really?
So like you know has everyone here seen Event Horizon?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how like the ship went through the Hell Gate and stuff went
dude.
down. So like the cutting room floor stuff that got deleted is like more stuff on what happened to the crew.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Oh, nice.
So you get
That
more
must be
of
fun.
the
Yeah.
the snuff stuff.
Yeah.
Well, right. Well, when I somehow
more
watched that
time.
when I was like 8. I have no idea how it happened, but
8?
I did. Yeah, I know.
Bro.
Really, yeah, I know. Well, I was over at a friend's place. I don't remember exactly. Whatever. Yes, way too young to watch that specific movie. And that one scene, I think they show like 30 seconds of it, where like they look at they
see the footage.
They see the footage, and then that shit kept me up for weeks.
More of that.
And I was like, oh my god, this is the scariest thing I've probably ever seen ever. And then like I watched it again, like like when I was 13 or whatever. I'm like, this is one of the most
Lawrence
tamest
Fishburne
sequences
versus
ever.
space. It's
Right.
true.
He's
I
been
mean-
in like a couple of sci-fi films that I feel
That's
like
the thing.
Space too.
Here's what I watched Event Horizon before I watched The Matrix. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
me, that's ironically Lawrence Fishburne's like id role for me is in Event Horizon instead of Morpheus.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's just where it is.
Is The Lost Boys considered a horror movie? Because that's one
Yeah,
of my
technically.
favorites.
Sure.
Technically.
I love that movie around Halloween.
Yeah.
But
So I'm
I
gonna
think
look up
a
its-
blend in the same way that Alien is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up its classification, but yeah, comedy horror. There it is. Yeah.
Comedy.
Oh.
Also 97
Definitely
minutes.
A comedy.
Dude, I love that. we are so past the point, like, me and Mike watch Squid Games. Or
Yes.
Squid Game.
Squid Game?
9 episodes, I don't know how many hours.
Oh,
But having
Just
a
under
story
9
where
because it's
I
like
could
45.
Just commit 90 minutes to something is so refreshing nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God, Squid Game was so good.
We need to watch it. We need to watch it.
Yeah, we're talking too much, so we might not get to Cash or Trash, which is fine. But
talking too much on a podcast.
I know.
Oh,
right.
no.
No, and I'm just watching because of ads. We don't want to make you sit through ads, and that's what we have to do. Yeah. So, you know. But yeah, Squid Game was excellent and would be total cash.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, what movie were you talking about? Slenderman.
Slenderman.
Yes.
We completely went off the rails on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe riding the ship here.
So Slenderman,
Bring it back.
I don't know if you know the story of Slenderman. He appears in the woods and he takes people to the whatever realm, essentially, that he decides. He takes kids. And once you see Slenderman, you can't escape.
You can't escape him, and he's in a suit. He's super long arms in a suit with a boulder cap or whatever.
It's like Jack Skellington.
No, he doesn't have a hat.
Doesn't have a hat.
He
You're
doesn't
right.
have a hat.
He's just like a white.
He just has.
He's a white faceless creature.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was a big part where this girl starts seeing him and just like, he had no face.
Yeah.
He had no face.
Yeah, no face.
Yes.
Put a hat on that faceless man. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice head.
Well, like all these girls are teenagers, and I will say they're actually all teenagers. It's not like a high schooler playing.
Not Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like a high schooler being played.
That's a horror movie in its own right.
It is.
Yeah, right.
Yes. That's a very rare accidental horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think they thought they would get Oscars out of that.
Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is way too high for that movie.
Wait, what do you mean by way too high? I've heard nothing but awful things.
Well, so
remember people liked the musical before
Yeah.
it became a movie, and then people realized what it's actually.
I mean, honestly, like I feel like I look enough like that guy. I feel like that should be my Halloween
Your
costume
eyes
this year.
aren't
Just
bugging out.
No, but if I just grew,
singing.
I mean, the hair's already long enough. I just grew it out a little bit
put
more.
some like heavy layers of foundation on you.
Yes.
And you got a Naruto run everywhere.
So,
oh yeah.
Because your Naruto.
Dear Evan Hansen, ready for the Rotten Tomatoes number?
Yeah.
Critics 30%.
Yep.
Yep, that makes sense.
Audience 88%.
That's some fucking Rise of Skywalker.
1,000 plus verified rating.
I mean,
that's not great.
I would imagine that some of that are fans of the original musical, and then there's others who watch it and be like, it's a really great story about how like a simple mistake can snowball, but you know what? You can be found community, found family, even though it's all a foundation of a lie, and Evan Hansen's actually the villain, but it's okay. He sings.
Yeah.
No, it's not okay.
No, retweet. Because
Retweet.
Kelly, who's super into theater, walked me through the history of this show, and I could see why it was as successful as it was. And then for the movie adaptation, any redeeming qualities about the musical were completely stripped out of what is now in the movie.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, like how do you even watch this without feeling uncertain or weird?
So Slenderman. No.
It's
the Slenderman.
So origin story for Slenderman.
Oh, well, basically, so these girls are actually like young. They're not like 20-year-olds that are in high school.
And this came out a couple years ago.
This came out a couple of years ago. This is now probably... Well, that's the main issue for this movie.
Oh my goodness.
So when the Slenderman story came out, when the real-life crime happened based on this story, the movie was still 2 years out. That's how long after this event.
Wow, okay.
So they took their time on this one.
They did. And the problem is, like, Slenderman was then passed. And for me, I personally like Slenderman, like the whole idea of it, because I'm a weirdo and a creep. You know, so...
it all lines up.
And that's why we're
You put that on your back on your dating profile.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Wait,
Just
dating,
back to your
whoa, dating profile. What the hell's happening
Congrats on
here?
coming up for honeymoon. Let's get this dating profile updated, Mike. Come on.
When Claire gets adopted by the Slenderman, what's happening?
Right, you gotta have a backup plan.
We are a podcast of dating profile people.
It's true.
It's true.
succeeded.
It's true.
It's true.
Right.
It's worked for us.
That's very
So-
true.
So Slenderman.
So please
Slenderman.
put Slenderman in your dating profile and you will find the love of your life.
Basically, these four
100%
girls get
effective.
together to summon Slenderman because they're trying to beat the boys and doing it, and
Wait
then
a
they
minute, meet the boys at like tug of war.
no, the
Or
boys
election?
are supposedly
The
summoning
boys,
Slenderman.
Amazon?
Yeah, like,
Like
are they,
the-
like,
Boys
the
are
high school-
summon
So the high school boys that they are interested in,
nowadays are for the boys, so is Thunderman.
so
Hell yeah, bro.
they are hanging out one night, and basically the girls find out, and they're like, oh, they found out that they're trying to summon Slenderman. Well, let's try to do it first, you know, like we're gonna beat them, that kind of stuff. So
Boys, girls,
they go to their own party, the four girls, and summon Slenderman. But now it's too late because Slender Man is here.
So congratulations, you accomplished what you set out to do.
You played yourself.
Exactly.
Now you need to deal with the consequences like real adults.
Right. The issue with this movie is like it's jump scare reliant. And then Slender Man's supposed to blend into the trees. That is the whole idea of it. And so when a branch moves, that might be Slender Man. And like that's what they should have built into more.
Okay.
Versus like you're looking at the trees, all of a sudden, bah, the branch moves, which is him.
Okay.
And and it's one of those things where literally it's 5-second jump scare and you're like,
Is there a musical sting every time
That's
he
what I
shows
was about
up?
to
That's
say.
what I
Is
want
there
to know.
musical
That's what I
cues?
want to know. Like, as in, like, every time, like, the Slender Man shows up, it's like, wing! Or whatever.
yeah.
That's annoying. Because,
Yeah.
again, one of the huge points about the game was that there's no musical cue for him.
Right.
You just see him, and that adds
All
to
of a
the
sudden
horror.
it's there,
And he's
yeah.
just there. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's
And you're
hard to-
freaking out. But like in the game too, he's subtle in the game.
Right.
Where you could be walking towards him, not realizing all of a sudden he's like real close to you and you're like, fuck!
Yeah.
No!
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, Slender Man, 8 pages, 5 out of 5. Slender Man, the movie. Like I said, it wasn't as bad as critics made it.
Okay.
So it has like a terrible Rotten Tomatoes number, but I'm also not recommending you see it. Like 1 out of 5. It's
There
it's
you go.
fine. It's not
Just read the creepypasta page about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
You know what I think is a great antithesis to the whole jump scare thing? There's a great sequence. It's not even a sequence. It's one shot in Hereditary, if anyone has seen it here.
not yet.
I-
God
I-
damn
I
it.
know- I know the arc. The
Yeah,
story.
so it's not a spoiler or anything. It's at the beginning of the movie. It's after the mom or like the grandma is she's dead. She's passed away, and Toni Collette's character is up in her workstation area of her home, and she shuts off the light. And as she shuts off the light, you see a silhouette of an older woman. And then she's like, "Mom," like in a very almost like a desperate way, like she wants her mom to be there, and
Yeah.
turns it on, and it's gone. And I feel like that has the same impact as you want as a jump scare because it comes out of nowhere, but it actually informs the story. In
Yes.
a,
I think
right.
really
that's
good
why
way.
like how
It's not just a
how
cheap
Haunting
thrill.
at House on the Hill and Bly Manor work so well with like the hidden ghosts.
Yeah.
Is that if you don't know that they're there, they can be
Yes.
very unsettling just to see.
Yes.
Right.
No,
They
absolutely, because, like,
largely
you-
fill into there's like some quiet lore there.
Yeah.
And in the case of Bly Manor, they actually explain where all those ghosts.
And that was my favorite part of watching the original show, and it was going onto the internet being like, here's all the fucking ghosts you missed, bro. I'm like,
Did you
oh
see
my
the
god, they were there the
Yeah,
whole
right.
time. Yeah, and I'm like, oh.
Well, and that's my thing too. I think jump scares can work,
They can.
but with Slender Man, the entire thing is jump
You
scare.
can't build a whole entire... Yeah, you need
You gotta
atmosphere.
it's a balance, and
Yep.
like I will also say atmospheric versus jump scare can be 70-30
Sure.
Oh, for
atmospheric.
Yeah.
PT has some awesome jump scares.
Right, because
but
they
it's not-
build up the atmosphere.
Exactly.
And so that's why I think is a good mix to it. We are running out of time.
Okay.
We're getting past the hour.
Cool.
We've got another episode to record, laying
we
you
do.
behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So we're going to go do that, but I hope you enjoyed. Leave us a comment, rate, review, everything like that. Share, download. Everything else you can do on the face of the planet. We are Game for a Movie, where we ask, are you game for a movie? I've been your host, Mike.
Andre.
Jill.
Mitchell.
Mitchell After Dark.
Mitchell after dark.
Mitchell, a scary movie. We'll see you next time on Game for a Movie.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later. Because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're your local Dignity Memorial provider. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Hey employers, ready to cover more and save more? When you bundle United Healthcare Medical with our life, disability, dental, and or vision, your medical plan costs may drop. Plus, you'll be offering more of the benefits employees want. For more details, visit uhc.com/bundled. Minimum participation requirements may apply for bundling programs. Benefits and programs may not be available in all states or for all group sizes. Components subject to change. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. Health plan coverage provided by or through Optimum Choice, Inc. or United Healthcare of the Mid-Atlantic, Inc.